believe it's almost Easter already. Time goes too fast. My fitness journey continues. I've been doing the 6-week 6-pack, and that's going pretty well. I feel myself getting stronger. I can do some of the harder exercises that at first I could maybe do one, if at all. Now I can do more and more. It's still difficult, but I'm still plugging along. I'm doing strength training and yoga as well. I'm happy that I can do a headstand again. I used to be able to do a headstand for 3 minutes, and then for a long time I wasn't even trying because I was afraid I was going to injure myself, because I thought I've got too much weight to be even attempting it, and I didn't think I'd have my balance, but now I can do them again, so that's good. But I wanted to talk this week about body image. This is something I've been thinking a lot about, and Camila Cabello actually posted something this week that I wanted to read because it's so relatable. I mean, she's a celebrity, so we don't have the paparazzi following us everywhere, but I think we can all relate to feeling kind of self-conscious or exposed, you know, especially when you're wearing swimwear on the beach. So she writes, "Every time I've gone to this beach club in Miami, I get papped." She means shot by the paparazzi. "Somehow, when I check in, paps know and get me in my bikini, and every time I've felt super vulnerable and unprepared. I've worn bikinis that were too small and paid no mind to how I looked, then saw pictures online and comments and been so upset. I reminded myself when it impacted my self-esteem that I was thinking the culture's thoughts, not my own. A culture who has gotten so used to an image of what a healthy woman's body looks like that it is completely not real for a lot of women. Photoshop, restrictive eating, over-exercising, and choosing angles that make our bodies look different than how they are in the moment and in their natural form when we take a deep breath, when we eat a meal, when we allow the waves to tussle us around. I remind myself of this, listen to podcasts on intuitive eating, follow women who accept their cellulite, stretch marks, bellies, bloating, and weight fluctuations, and still, I'm a single woman in her 20s in the middle of a shit ton of promo, and I want to feel like I look good. Today I got a new bikini, a whole effing cute outfit, put lip gloss on, and didn't eat anything too heavy before going in the ocean because I knew it was going to be basically a whole photo shoot. I held my core so tight my abs hurt and didn't breathe and barely smiled and was so self-conscious of where the paps were the whole time I couldn't let go and relax and do what we're meant to do when we go out in nature. I tried to pretend they weren't there, but I couldn't. And I held my breath from my sun chair to the ocean. I looked at a group of toddlers giggling with excitement at the waves knocking them over. No sunglasses, no jewelry, no self-consciousness, just the innocence of children, which is the feeling I've always gone into nature for. I knew I looked good in the pictures and thought I would feel accomplished, and yet I've never had a worse time at the beach. I felt the emptiness and sadness of our culture's thoughts that became my thoughts. I wanted to talk about this because we see pictures of women and praise them for looking good, for looking fit or healthy. But what is health if you're so fixated on your body, on what your body looks like, that your mental health suffers and you can't enjoy your life? Who am I trying to look attractive for? And am I even attractive to myself if I can't let loose and relax and have fun and be playful on a beautiful day at the beach? I'm not yet at the point in my journey where I cannot give a F. Intellectually, I know what I look like doesn't determine how healthy, happy, or sexy I am. Emotionally, the messaging I get from our world is loud in my own head. Ironically, all the therapy, all the inner work is to try and get back to feeling like 7-year-old me on the beach. I'm mourning her today. Happy, silly, breathing, pretending to be a mermaid, free. P.S. I ran to the pool area where hopefully they can't get me, but they literally hide in the bushes. Sometimes I'm exhausted. LOL. Okay. So here is one of the photos to know what she's talking about if you haven't already seen it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's not very flattering. The little yellow tiger bikini, it's a little bit small on her, but she's a beautiful woman. She obviously has nothing to worry about. She's a young girl. But this brought up something that really was relatable for me because, yeah, I'm not a celebrity and really no one cares when I'm on the beach and no one's going to be snapping pictures of me. But every time I went to the beach, I did feel self-conscious and I found myself, you know, sucking in my gut. And here's what I used to do. Okay, this is how crazy, okay? So even when I lost all my weight in the past and I got down to my goal weight, I bloat so easily that it, like if I eat anything, if I eat or drink anything, my stomach bloats out. Now, people have asked me before, like, have you been tested? Because maybe you're lactose intolerant, maybe you're gluten intolerant, you know, I've never been tested for anything like that because frankly, I didn't want to give up all my favorite foods. So I just kind of suffer with it. But the gas and the bloating and IBS and everything else. So what I used to do when we were going to the beach, because I do love bikinis. I think they're very feminine, they're beautiful. And you know, when we used to go to the beach and it had the palm trees, I felt like I was somewhere tropical. So it was a whole thing. And I love the pictures, you know, underneath the palm tree in a bikini. You feel like you're, you know, somewhere exotic, even though you're just at a local beach. But anyways, so what I would do for the photo ops is I would fast for that morning. So I would not eat because I could not eat anything or I would bloat up. Now I'm someone, I need to eat every couple of hours or I'm starving. I get hangry. So I would go to the beach hangry because I wanted to get the photos, and I'll show you some of my beach photos. So yeah, this is how nuts I was. That even when I was slim, I was still self-conscious, like, God forbid that, you know, my belly's sticking out a little bit, or, you know, like, what if I bent and then I've got rolls, or, you know, it's crazy. It's like, why do we drive ourselves crazy like this? Meanwhile, there'd be other women, and there were some women that were quite heavy wearing a bikini and they're not worrying. And I mean, I'm not looking and judging them. I'm thinking, good for her. I'm thinking, you know, she's beautiful. Confidence is beautiful, and not caring what anyone thinks is awesome. And I wish that I had that, but I was so self-conscious. So I'd be sucking in my gut, you know, and you get your good angles. And then I'd get the photo and then I'd be like, screw it. We'd go in the water and then I'd put on a t-shirt or a cover up kimono, and then we'd go get ice cream, and I'm like, I'm starving, let's go eat something. And then I would not show my stomach after that. But it's crazy, like, women are so hard on themselves, and it's like we're all trying to live up to this unattainable ideal, and nobody looks like that. Like, even the 1% of the world that actually happen to have, you know, they've won the genetic lottery and they're literally supermodels, even they have their moments where, you know, maybe they're bloated, maybe their tummy's sticking out, maybe they've got cellulite, or, you know, as you get older and you get stretch marks and you have a baby, like, life changes, and we all have flaws and imperfections, but no one's going to show that on Instagram. You know, on Instagram, it's like everyone's perfect. You know, you find your good side, you find your right angle, and there's all those filters, and there's Photoshop, and so, you know, people can look so perfect. And then in real life, you know, like poor Camila, she's just trying to enjoy a day at the beach, and it's like, oh my God, she's got to worry every moment. Like the paparazzi taking pictures of her and judging her and body shaming her. Like, no one should ever be body shaming anyone. You know, there's a wide range of what is healthy. Now, here's the thing, because I did some research on this, because I've heard of body positivity. It's like, well, what does that really mean? So body positivity is like a social movement that says basically you love yourself no matter what shape and size, you know, to be inclusive, everyone is beautiful. You don't have to meet some, you know, very narrow ideal of what is feminine beauty. You can just, you know, be who you are, which is great. within reason though, because here's the thing, like it's fine to say, yes, everyone is beautiful, and they are, and we're all different. But I think you have to look at the extremes that are unhealthy and not be condoning that, okay? So on one extreme end of the spectrum, you have severely underweight, and these are people that, you know, for whatever reason, whether they have an eating disorder, a bulimia, anorexia, or whether they have some health issue that's leading to them losing weight, and they're too underweight. There's a point where it is not healthy. So, I mean, you cannot celebrate that. At the same time, you can't insult a stranger, and it's not your place to do so. It would be up to their family to say, you know, let's look at your health, because I think you're in danger and I think you need to gain some weight. That's something for their friends and family to discuss. And then the other end of the spectrum, if someone is, you know, extremely morbidly obese, you know, they're 700 pounds or something, that obviously you cannot condone that. That's not healthy. But, you know, there's a wide range in between those two extremes. And I think that you can still be healthy, you know, with a few extra pounds, or, you know, and everyone has different genetics and background and bone structure that, you know, for some people it's just not realistic to ever be that slim. Body positivity is about accepting and loving yourself the way you are. And in most cases, I think that's the best idea, because, you know, we're none of us perfect. And unless your weight is at such an extreme that it puts you at a health risk, like if you're severely underweight, where then you've got to worry about that's, you know, possibly damaging your organs. You know, if you have an eating disorder, that's something obviously that has to be taken care of. Or in the other end of the spectrum, if you're severely overweight, morbidly obese, then you'd have to look into losing some weight, just so that you're not putting an extra strain on your organs and your joints, and you're at risk of disease, type 2 diabetes and heart disease. As long as you're not at those extremes, in the middle are real people, real women, and you don't usually see them, you know, in the media, online, and on TV. Although campaigns like Dove's Real Beauty, they did show a wide range of women, real women, because it's hard when you feel like you're not represented. And it's hard if all you see are these perfect, you know, so-called perfect ideal skinny women, that it's unattainable. Like, no one looks like that. You know who's perfect? You know who, you know, can be perfect? Barbie. Because she's a doll. She's not real. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not slamming Barbie. I love Barbie. I mean, I loved Barbie as a kid, and I collected Barbies even as an adult. But she's not a person. And there's actually, oh my gosh, there's a woman that has had surgery to make herself look like Barbie. I'll show you a picture. It's like, you know what? Like, don't make yourself look like a doll. Like, you're not supposed to look like a doll or a cartoon character. Like, real women don't look like that. It's not realistic. Like, you can have an hourglass figure, but not to this degree. Like, you're removing some ribs, you're having some plastic surgery to get to, and that's just like, let's not go there. Let's just be real women. And it's okay. Like, it's okay to have flaws. It's okay to gain some weight. And yeah, I'm trying to lose weight now, but I'm certainly not trying to be perfect. That is not attainable. I'm trying to be healthier. I want to be stronger. I'm trying to frame it that way and not see it as just, you know, of course I'd like to be slimmer. You know, in the past when I lost weight, I met my goals and I was happy. But even then, you know, even then I felt self-conscious, and it's like, you never feel good enough. I can't believe how many women are so hard on themselves. I'm telling you that even like in the past when I used to go to clubs and there'd be women in the bathroom and every single one's finding fault with herself. Like, one say, oh, I don't like my eyebrows. Oh, my nose is too big. Oh, I hate my arms. It's like, oh my God. And these women are beautiful, and they're all finding fault. It's like, how about we don't do that? Like, don't be so negative about yourself. Be kind to yourself. You know, on top of the body positivity thing, which some people think, you know, it might be encouraging people to be unhealthy, because if you're saying, well, it's okay if you gain weight, then, you know, maybe they'll just sit there and eat donuts. You should still try to be healthy. You should still exercise and, you know, mostly have a healthy diet. But yeah, don't worry about it, an extra couple of pounds. Like, as long as you're still healthy overall, who cares, right? But there's another movement called body neutrality, and this is more where it's not that you love all your flaws. There might be things about yourself you're not in love with. Like, I'm not crazy about my legs, if I'm being honest, but they get me from A to B, so I appreciate them, you know? So it's just appreciating that, you know, your body might not be perfect, but you appreciate what it does for you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. What is the body anyway? It's just a vessel for your mind and your soul, which are more important. So, I mean, and that gets back to the whole yoga thing, which I'm trying to get into too, again, is to just be, and to realize that what matters is who you are inside. And that is not defined by how you look and, you know, how many pounds and how much cellulite you have. So I think, it's really hard when society does put this pressure on you, you know, to be this perfect. And you'll see people like Kim Kardashian. It's like, I'm sorry, but that's just not realistic either. Like, she looks like a Barbie doll. See, nobody looks like that. Like, and I mean, again, it's all, you know, Photoshop and perfect angles. And, you know, when you're a millionaire, I guess you can afford to do just about anything. But yeah, for most women, like, we just don't look like that. So just be fine with who you are. Like, I'm not trying to be like someone else, because I know that's not possible. I just want to be the best me that I can be. We all have, you know, our different backgrounds and, you know, your bone structure and whatever, and just work within that. Work with what you have and just accept yourself as you are, and know that it's okay, and you're good enough, and everyone's beautiful in their own way. It sounds so cliche, but it is true. But I just want to talk about that, because I did feel bad for Camila, and I think it's so relatable that a lot of women do feel like so self-conscious, and the beach is one of the biggest, because you're the most exposed. But there's ways around it. I mean, now I probably, even if I was going to beaches, and I don't now because we don't go out with the pandemic, even though everyone else wants to let it rip, we don't. Even if I was going to, I'd probably be wearing tankinis now, because it's just so much more comfortable. I don't think one pieces were ever flattering somehow. They just kind of pull you in and flatten you out, and you just, but, and then the bikini, you know, you got to worry about that stomach. So I think a tankini, because then, you know, you're covering up, and I like little swim skirts too, rather than a bikini bottom. But yeah, so I just want to talk about that, because I really felt for Camila, and yeah, we should get back to just, you know, that child that had fun at the beach and didn't worry about anything, you know. It's not just all about, you know, trying to look perfect for Instagram or whatever. Anyway, that's it for now. My fitness journey continues. I'm still going to be doing the 6-week 6-pack, and yeah, and trying to be healthier and stronger, not trying to be thinner, although that would be fine too. Anyway, take care, stay safe, be healthy, and be kind to yourself.